Hey guys, what's up? It's Tees here coming at you with another Tips with Tees in College Football 25. Do you struggle at running the football? Do you just feel like no matter what you do, no matter what play you pick, you just cannot run the ball successfully, so you have to focus on passing, which leads to turnovers, forced passes, and bad decisions all around? Well, this is going to be the video for you, and I recommend sticking with it, and I recommend watching it and learning a few things on how to be successful at running the football in College Football 25. But before we jump into it, if you can please like the video and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Before we get into it, if you could please like this video and subscribe if you're new to the channel, and be on the lookout for more tips with Tees in College Football 25. So before we even get on the field, my biggest recommendation for you to be successful at running the football in College Football 25 is looking at your depth chart. Figure out who your strong and weak links are on the offensive line and use your depth chart to look up the strength and the weaknesses of your offensive line, because this is key. If you don't know your opponent, well, then you go off of your strengths, and this is what you should do. If you look here, I'm using Boise State just for the video. Left tackle, 86. Left guard, 84. Center, 77. Right guard, 76. And right tackle, 75. So what does that tell you? That tells you that the left side of our offensive line is the strongest part. The weakest part is going to be the right side of the offensive line. So you want to use the left side and run the ball as much as you can on the left side. Obviously, don't only favor that side if you're going up against the user, or they'll start picking that up. But that is what I recommend: is you looking at your depth chart, figuring out your strong and your weaknesses on your offensive line, and go that route. Because for Boise State, you want to run left, because that is where the strength of your offensive line is. And then if you want to go a little bit deeper, sometimes I look at the defensive line that I'm going up against. So you saw that an 86 and I think an 85 for left guard and left tackle for Boise State. If you look here at Auburn, who we're going up against just for the video, you know, they have an 86 left edge rusher, a right edge rusher that's an 88, and their defensive tackles are honestly kind of weak. So that kind of matches up well with Boise State in their interior on the right side and center. Those were like in the mid 70s. So here you don't have to worry too much about that, but still you're going to want to go to your strength, which is going to be the left side of the offensive line for Boise State. But keep that in mind. Before you even get between the sticks, take a look at your depth chart and make the decision at where you should be running the ball consistently. So like I just mentioned before, the left side of the field. So like I just mentioned, the left side of the offensive line is the strongest. So right here, we're going to run a simple run inside zone to the left. Let's see how successful it is. Okay. 5 yards. These videos, like I've said many times before, aren't going to be your money plays. These are just ways to help you open up some space, get some holes, score some first downs, score some touchdowns, and move those chains. This might get you all the way down to the football field, but you don't want to score right away all the time, because your defense, when they're on the field too much, that does not benefit them. So again, just simple inside zone to the left side here. Able to pick up about 4 to 5 yards. Nothing too spectacular there. If you get a better block, you might be able to, do something better. As look at that block right there. And obviously Gianti is goated in this game, but don't worry about the broken tackles. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just using the strength of your offensive line. As I run it one more time here, cut it inside, and oh my gosh, he laid someone out before getting laid out. So now my next recommendation to help you run the football better in College Football 25 is going to be double teaming defensive line who are getting beat. As again, we're in that same formation. We're going to run the ball left, and let's see who struggles the most. Looks like they're double teaming that defensive tackle, and he is still having a way with the defender. So let's change that up, and let's see what would happen if I have one-on-one with the left guard and the center, and have the left tackle help the double team. Let's see, what should I do here? So the next thing I'd recommend doing, and you probably should be doing this regardless every single play, just to make sure you know who is blocking who, is checking out your offensive line blocking assignments, because that is vital. And to do that, you hold left trigger or L2 for PlayStation right on the left analog stick, and it'll bring up the blocking assignment. Here you can see the left guard and the center are going to be double teaming that left defensive tackle, and if they both have him blocked, they are going to move up to the second level and take on that linebacker. So you always want to make sure that everyone is getting blocked here, because obviously if you don't, you're not going to have a good time and you're not going to be able to pick up any yards. But this gives you an idea of what to expect when you hike the football. As I hike it right here, and you see that left guard, after he was engaged with that left defensive tackle, that he went to the left side to block that middle linebacker. As we hike it again here, same thing. He engages with him as soon as the center is able to engage with that left defensive tackle. The left guard goes up to the middle linebacker. So you always want to make sure that you know who is blocking who, because that does help, because it gives you an idea of where to go and what to expect. So again, I'll hike it here. He goes back over to the left side there, and that was his responsibility, and he picked up his responsibility and was able to pick up 5 yards. Very, very simple. The next tip is simple. Identifying the Mike linebacker. To be honest, I didn't really even know what the Mike linebacker was, what they did, but after watching a few videos on YouTube, I want to bring this to everyone else's attention who might not have any idea what the Mike linebacker is. So, to my understanding, the Mike linebacker does help give your offensive line an idea of where the center of the defense is. So as you see here, the Mike linebacker is that left linebacker. And when we hike the ball, what that basically means is the center of the defense is starting at that linebacker. The offensive line will basically block a little bit to the left more, angle it more to the left, and that will be where you're trying to find your hole. And that's basically how I found it. So anytime that I'm running the football, let's say in this example, you're running it left, you want to have somebody on the left side of the field, preferably a linebacker, that you can select and ID the Mike. And if it's not if it's not that linebacker, you can easily hold left bumper or L1 on PlayStation, tap A to ID the Mike, and then you can select who you want to be the Mike. So for this case, let's just say, for example, sometimes you're running the ball left and it'll have the linebacker on the opposite side of the ball. So let's just say for this example that the Mike linebacker is here, but you're running left. You always want to have that Mike linebacker in front to the same side of where you are running the football. So you want to change this Mike linebacker. And like I just mentioned, by holding left bumper or L1 on PlayStation, you tap A or X on PlayStation, move it to the left with the left stick, and then just press A, and that is the offensive line knowing now who the Mike linebacker is. And now you can run this run, no issues there, and look at that beautiful run up the middle, inside zone, and it's as simple as that. Again, that's what I do every single time. That's one thing that I kind of picked up was when you're running the ball to one side, if you're running the ball to the right, you want to have that right linebacker as the Mike, because that identifies him over there, and then your offensive line will block that way and give you a better idea of that. And that will give you a better idea, that'll give you a better chance of finding a hole and getting more space. Another tip that I usually recommend is making sure that, you're not running in another quick tip that another recommendation that I got for you guys is not running in a loaded box. Very, very simple. If you take the first 8 yards or first 3 yards or 4 yards or whatever the box is right outside the offensive lineman there, you notice that we are currently outmanned. We only have 5 offensive linemen, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players in the box. This is an absolutely no-go. You want to abort the mission. You do not want to run in this box because it's going to be very, very difficult. Can you break it for a touchdown? Of course, there's always going to be that chance, but the likelihood of that happening is very, very slim. And because of that, you don't want to put yourself in that situation where you need a yard, you need a few yards, you need to keep that clock running, because it is not going to be a good time. And not only that, you might even fumble the ball. And then that makes things even worse, because you're leaving open a wide open player who's not getting blocked because the line can't block everybody. So let's see what happens if you run in So let's see what happens when you run in a loaded box. I can hear, and there was just absolutely nothing that I could do. Check out the blocking, and look, they're only blocking the 5 guys in front of them. They're not even accounting for the other 4 guys. So that is not good. I get right here, try to run up, and even though I trucked the defensive tackle, I still didn't get a yard. I actually had a -1 on that play. So you got to keep that in mind. You do not want to run in a loaded box. Sometimes, of course, if you have a quick hole and you're able to hit it, you can easily score a touchdown there because there's no one else that has a chance to get you. But the chances of that happening are extremely slim here, as even though I break a tackle right there, I don't gain a yard, and we're running to the strong side of Boise State, which is the left side, and it's still not having any success. This is on Heisman, obviously, so because of that, it's going to be more realistic, but just take my advice here. See, look, it is possible to run through it, but it's very, very slim. And when you only have one chance and you're not practicing and you can just do this 15, 20 times, there's no reason to do this when you only have one chance. So keep in mind, stay out of running in loaded boxes. If you find, you're in a loaded box, simple. Run a pass play. As I audible here to a pass play, and what I like to do when I see something like this, which is rare, just put them on a streak route, boom. Easy pass and catch, touchdown. And I know this is a running video, but I'm just telling you, you audible out of that every single time. There's no way to do that. There's no reason to do that, because even if you break a tackle or 2, there's still going to be 2 to 3 guys on you. As I hike it right here, trying to run it, and I might have had it if I would have went to the left side there. But I only gained a few yards there, and that was lucky. And this is like the best running back in the game. So because of that, if he's not breaking all these tackles, no one else will. So just keep that in mind. Loaded boxes you want to stay away from. But that'll do it for this video, guys. If you guys did enjoy it, please leave a like. If you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe and be on the lookout for more tips with tees in College Football 25. Thanks. I'm out. Peace.